The Washington, D.C. media and the Democrats have been just consumed with this alleged scandal emerging, this supposed scandal of the Ukrainian whistleblower trying to give a heads up to America's government and what Trump was involved with and talking to the Ukrainian president. This really matters to understand, both because it shows you how trigger happy, how just the Democrat and media, or I call them the Democrat media mob, cannot wait to find the next argument to make to the American people about somehow, some way, President Trump should be impeached. So the story is President Trump had a July of this year phone conversation with the Ukrainian president. And in that conversation, they were talking about many issues. They both agreed there were many issues. But the argument is that someone reported to our Inspector General for intelligence that President Trump had in this conversation put pressure on Ukrainian President Zelensky. Ukrainian President Zelensky put pressure on him to engage in an investigation of Joe Biden's son, who was vice president, now presidential candidate, his son Hunter Biden, that Trump put pressure on Zelensky to reopen an investigation into this scandal involving Biden and his son and a Ukrainian prosecutor who was fired at Joe Biden's request. In the first 5 days, I just want to focus on just how little it takes to inspire the left to go ballistic, claiming they've now finally found the impeachable offense. Here are a few actual facts. The person who has made this whistleblower statement to America made it actually to the Office of the Intelligence Community Inspector General, and it got to the actual person holding that job, Michael Atkinson. This unknown person, anonymous person, has claimed that in the conversation between Trump and Zelensky on the phone in July, Trump allegedly was pushing Zelensky to reopen an investigation or open investigation into this whole Hunter Biden scandal involving a company named Burisma. And the actual content of what the whistleblower had to say, as reported by CNN and later actually in the Wall Street Journal, acknowledged, number one, this whistleblower didn't actually hear the conversation, wasn't part of it at all, didn't know what was said. He's reporting a rumor, just like anyone could report a rumor. He's reporting a rumor about which he has no firsthand knowledge. And second, even within what he had to say to the Office of the Intelligence Community Inspector General's office, he acknowledged there was no quid pro quo floated. And that just means Trump didn't say, if you'll reopen this investigation into Biden and his son, we will, loan you more money. Or if you don't open this, we may hold back on our aid. No quid pro quo. I always stumble with those words. Sorry. No deal. Trump did not try to make a deal. He just said to Zelensky, I think you should keep investigating Biden and his son, Joe Biden and his son Hunter. And that was the conversation. Apparently, in this long conversation, that was mentioned several times. Why don't you look into this? And as a matter of fact, that you back up from that, this is not a news story. It isn't like Trump dug up some long hidden secret and tried to pile on the Ukrainian government to look into this. This has been an ongoing known scandal for a long time. This has been going on since it happened. Discussion of why did Biden get away with this whole, what he did when he was in the Ukraine. He's vice president at the time, he's representing the Obama administration, he's over in the Ukraine, and essentially pressuring these people, pressuring the Ukrainian government to fire a prosecutor. You have to follow the story. Fire a prosecutor, the chief prosecutor, because that prosecutor was engaged in a criminal investigation of a business, a Ukrainian business, a Ukrainian American, and his own son, Hunter Biden, sat on the board of that company. Biden was asking the Ukrainians to stop investigating, not just stop investigating, but fire the prosecutor looking into this case, fire the prosecutor, And on top of that, Biden admitted that he threatened withholding American money to the Ukraine until that prosecutor was fired. I have my incredibly wonderful Matt, the wonderful producer. He is going to play a clip. And Matt, this is the one, Biden on the Ukraine and firing the prosecutor. If we can play Biden admitting this on television, national television in America, that's exactly what he did. Here he is.
I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko. They would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting $1 billion. I said, you're not getting $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Oh, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
So here you have him admitting that he pressured the Ukrainians to fire a prosecutor who was indeed looking into his son. And then you have him acknowledging on open television, anyone can see it, saying he withheld American money pending forcing the Ukrainians to fire a prosecutor who was endangering his own son. In wrapping up today's First Five, I'll just say this. The contrast between the Washington, D.C. elites, the media and the Democrats saying, on the one hand, Trump may be in a conversation that we don't even know what happened, that was reported only to us by a whistleblower who didn't hear it. So he's reporting a rumor based on, and even in the rumor said there was no quid pro quo. There was no, you give me this and I'll give you this. It was just him, Trump, allegedly pressuring Zelensky to indeed look into this matter further, which got dropped. Once the prosecutor got fired, 6 months later, the case was dropped. That, a rumor reported with no illegality about it, is enough to say we better be talking impeachment. Biden running for president and openly acknowledging he withheld American aid to the Ukraine until they fired the person they wanted fired doesn't seem to bother the media. Just they have descended on Trump like they have discovered the most amazing, astonishing wrongdoing in American history. Nothing that Biden does ever bothers them. I'm going to wrap up today's First Five by saying this. You have to get, and I'm sure you do if you listen to the show, the media and the Democrats are looking for any possible argument, anything, to get President Trump out of office. I think they're perfectly aware he will otherwise win a second term as president. And they are looking for anything they can hang their hat on. So those crazy headlines you were reading, really, when you look at the contrast between what Trump allegedly did with no proof at all that even did it, and even if he did, it's not illegal, and what Biden admitted doing, and then the press tries to look you in the face and say, don't worry, we're being fair, we're being reasonable. This is what Biden acknowledged doing is flat out misuse, abuse of his power as vice president to protect his own family. There's nothing that screams corruption better than that. And that, my friends, is today's First Five.